Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my average video. I'm actually trying to set up a video for tomorrow or the next day, and I'm looking for a sign here on this battlefield. Now I'm standing on the Antietam Battlefield just outside of Sharpsburg, Maryland, and for you guys that aren't familiar with the American Civil War, this was the single most bloody day in our history. More Americans died and were wounded right where I'm standing on this battlefield, which is not very big, in one day than any other day in our history. There's 23,000 American soldiers were either killed or wounded right here. And I'm looking for a sign that is around here somewhere, I know, that shows a neat cave called Killingsburg Cave, or Killingsburg Cave, I suppose. That's about 2 miles that way toward the river. And in that cave, people hid, the townspeople hid during this battle when there's all these cannons going off, and the buildings in the town, which is right over there, were being shelled and they were on fire. So the civilians hid in these caves while the battle was going on, and it's kind of interesting. You go down there and look at it. It's right along the river, the Potomac River. I want to show that to you, but what they don't tell you on the sign, and what I discovered when I was a wee lad, because I used to like to go spelunking or caving, is that there's a little cave off to the side that's not on that sign that actually has soldiers' names and units carved lightly in the rock. So hopefully it's still there. I haven't looked for it for at least 20 years though, so I don't even know if it's still there, but I'm hoping it is. We are near the visitor center right now, which is just behind me. There's a bunch of cannons they have set up. That's the Dunkard Church over there. And the Dunkards were a sect of, well, Christians that would dunk the people, I guess, in the water when they baptized them. And here's a picture of the church right after the battle. You can see the dead soldiers lined up here and holes in it and whatnot. And what they don't tell you, I don't think, on the sign, but I'm going to tell you, is that's not the original church. The church was abandoned after the battle. It fell down. The townspeople came over here and stole all the bricks and wood from it, and it was rebuilt later. So what you're looking at now wasn't actually here during the war. And that's it right over there. And if you want to go see it sometime, come up here and visit it, or if you want me to go over there and just take some close-up video, I'll show you that. Now, unfortunately, I can't find the sign, which I thought was right up in this area. Like I said, we're at the visitor center, which is right there, and I'm going to have to go over there and talk to the rangers and see if they can direct me to the sign. We'll get a picture of the sign today, then we're going to go metal detecting. Not here on the battlefield, but on my in-laws' farm, which is not too far away. It's my father-in-law's birthday, and I'm meeting my wife there in a few hours to have a little celebration with the family. And since I did leave a little early, it gives us plenty of time to go over there and try to find a Civil War bullet or some colonial coins. And we're going to try the Minelab out. I got the CTX 3030 with me today. I have not used it much on land yet. You've seen me use it in the water a few times. I probably shouldn't talk about it anymore since we're getting close, and it is in the trunk of my car. Oh, there's a ranger there. He's coming up to the parking lot, and this is the visitor center. We're just going to pop in there real quick. I might just ask him. Alright, so I just talked to the ranger dude there, and he says there is no sign up here, but there's one down on the C&O Canal, which is a separate park that's very close to here, right near the cave. So what we're going to do, I'll show you on the map, is we're going to go down there tomorrow or the next day and do that video where I show you the cave. This is a map of the battlefield, and I guess we're up here at the visitor center. And the cave I'm talking to you about is not on the map. It's right over here. So, alright. Off to my in-laws. We're going to try out the 3030 for a few minutes, and tomorrow or the next day we're going caving. It's going to be fun. Alright, so I made it over to my in-laws' house, and that's the back of the house behind me. That house was built around 1900, I think, but maybe on an older foundation. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty certain. There's a lot of relics and trashy things down in this area here I found from the Civil War, and right around that time. And there's a big spring over the hill. I think there might have been a house right there very, very early, like in the mid-1700s. But the hill behind me, which is not far from the house, is where I think the main big house was back in the late 1700s. I found a ton of coins back there. A lot of Spanish silver, a bunch of colonial coins and states coins and coins from England and whatnot. Mostly dating the late 1700s, right around up to about 1800. That's on that hillside right there behind me. Now, I have been hunting that hill for 20 years. And I've used every metal detector I can think of to try to eke one more target out of there. I had one good day up there where I actually found some type of pit that I dug out and got a bunch of coins out of. And if I can find that picture, I'll post it here in this video so you can see it. I got a whole bunch of coins in one day. It was pretty cool. And a lot of other stuff. But let's go ahead and wander up there. Again, I got the Minelab today. I've not really used this much on land. I do have a decent program in here now, I think. Let's go up on the hill. We'll try to get this thing to work real quick. We have a little bit of time to dig. My wife's not here yet. I did get hung up in Sharpsburg, though, because they're doing construction, so I lost about 20 minutes there. We'll go through the fence right there so they don't knock it over and let all the cows out. Hold your breath when you squeeze through that hole right there. All right, so let's head on up the hill here, and hopefully that sun's not too bright for you. Now, I always like to try this spot first whenever I get a new metal detector, and I consider this a new metal detector because I've not really used it much, and I don't know how good it's going to be on land. It was good in the water. I'm really looking forward to next year using it more, but there are very few good signals left up here on the hill because, like I said, I've been hunting it to some deer out in the field. Ooh, that's a buck. Yeah, look at that. You probably can't see him, but he's right through where the gate is. I can't actually see his antlers, but I can tell by the way he's walking. That's a buck. He's probably in rut, which meaning that they're mating. There's a couple of them down there. He's probably following the doe. I'll zoom in for you. He's just getting ready to go into the trees. It's hunting season over here right now, so I stay away from the farms. That's a cow, by the way. That's not a deer. Don't shoot the deer, or don't shoot the cow. But here come the deer. Yeah, I can see something on him. He's definitely had antlers. No doubt about that. And that's one of the reasons I haven't been doing a lot of metal detecting recently, is because deer season is in. My in-laws do not allow hunting on their property, so I don't have any orange on, although I probably should. There's some houses back behind here, so there's probably nobody hunting around here. And again, this is all their property, so there shouldn't be anybody here. Yeah, I could have supper if I had my gun with me. Oh, they're running now. They hear me talking. Look at them. You see him bounding across there. There's two. We're just going to go right up here on the hill. I don't want to get too close to them, because I don't want to scare them off this property onto the next farm where they might get killed. This is the hill right here where the old house used to sit. I see the deer right over there now. They must know they're safe. I think the foundation was like right in this area here. This is where I found the majority of the coins and the buttons. So we're just going to start here and just hunt this little open area. Alright, so I didn't bring all my... Let's try to get some good light here. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn it on. And let it go. Alright, I'll start swinging. If I get a signal that I'm going to dig, which will be any signal, I'll turn the camera back on and let you look at the screen, and we'll listen to it together. A lot of iron up here, not too many good, probably not a lot of good signals, but this will be a good test for this machine to see if it can do better than the other ones I've used here in the last 20 years. Alright, let's take a listen to the targets up here. I'm actually hearing some things I definitely want to dig. And I just started. I mean, my shovel's right there, of course. Of course, I don't know if these are good signals or not. I haven't used this machine enough to know for sure, but they're squeaking good. Listen. I heard something in here. See, a high squeak normally is a good sound. And I'm looking at this little thing. It's bouncing around a bunch, but like I said, there's not many targets up here. I heard something over here, too. Listen, listen. That could very well be iron. looking at that, but it's giving that high squeak. Again, I have not used this metal detector a lot, so this is all new to me. Let's just listen, walk around. And see, it's iron. You can hear it nulling out. That's going over iron when it quits making a noise. Hey, let's try that cow pie. See that cow pie? A lot of times they give signals. Let's see if it gives a signal. Nope. It doesn't give a signal. A lot of metal detectors gives a real good sound and you want to dig it, but it's actually just a cow pie. Alright, let's go over here. Let's try this cow pie. Brand new metal detector. I'm out here. The first thing I want to do is run it over cow pie. Oh well, gotta have fun with it. Alright, I'm gonna have to set everything down. I didn't bring my tripod or anything with me today. And we'll get the signal and dig it up and we'll see what it is once I get it out of the ground. Sorry about that. But I'll be right back. Don't hold your breath. Okay, I went ahead and dug a big plug so we can put everything back in there and stomp it down when we're done. The signal's in the dirt, so it's in this part of the dirt, so this was in the bottom of the hole, so that's telling me it had decent depth there. I don't see what it is. I've never used this pinpointer. Let's see. Ooh, I heard a beep. Beep, beep. I don't hear a beep now. Something very small in it. Alright, what I'm going to do... Oh, yeah, it was way over here. Alright, so... I wouldn't be surprised if it's a nail. Because, yeah, it's a nail. Okay, so... It gave me a high-pitched squeak, which typically to me would mean a non-ferrous item or something that's not made of iron. But if you looked at the graph, that little dot thing was way down underneath the halfway mark, and I think that's kind of how you tell if it's iron or not. That's a neat old square nail. It's a rose head. It's got the hump in the top. It's called a rose head nail, and that's pretty old. That's not machine made. So this would date to, like, you know, probably the mid 1700s or a little bit later. Now, as you can see, that's where I dug the hole. That's where the plug was. I put everything back in and stomped it down with my foot so it's nice and tight. Now, cows can come along, especially when they're in an area with this type of tough grass. And they'll grab the grass and the plug, and they'll actually lift that plug out of the ground. And they may do that in every hole you dig. So, on this hill, I've come up here the day after I was digging and found holes everywhere, but it's because the herd of cows came through and was grabbing the grass and eating it. What they do is they grab it and they kind of pinch it and pull it and rip it up like that. And if it's a plug, well, the whole plug comes up. So that's one danger you have when you dig plugs and you put them down grass side up. Normally, I will actually take the plug when it's here on this farm anyway, and I'll flip it over and stomp it down. So it's just a little bare dirt right there, but the cow won't come back and flip, you know, grab it and pull it out. But there's not many cows here today, so I think that they'll be fine as long as they don't come cruising through here in the next few days. So I'm still digging a lot of nails, and I know for you guys that actually know how to use this machine, it's cringe-worthy to watch this video. But there's a lot of little square nails, and I'm learning the machine as I go along. And I'm learning that, you know, I think anyway, that if that thing, signal thing here, a little ball that jumps up and down, isn't up high enough, it's probably going to be a little piece of iron, because that's pretty much what everything's been. I did find a cool piece of pottery though. This is called red ware, and this is really old, dates to like the 1700s normally in this area, or early 1800s. And I find a lot of this up here when I'm digging. We still have about another 20 minutes or so up here, and then we're going to sneak down closer to the yard. Now, if we get over in their yard, we could dig wheat pennies all day long. There's wheat pennies all over the place in there. I usually try to avoid that area. But we'll go down to this lower section where I found some Civil War stuff and some older stuff. There's a lot of trash there, though. But that will also be a good, you know, test for me with this machine and to learn how to use it. This is just the way it is. You know, for you guys that don't metal detect, this is the way it is. You get a new machine, you have to learn how to use it. For you guys that are experts, I know, I'm sorry, but this is what happens when you don't read the manual, I guess. Little piece of oyster shell there too. Neato. So I moved down off the hill just a little bit, down into this bottom area. I haven't hunted down here quite as much, but I haven't found as much down here either. I see there's a bunch of deer in the bottom down there now. It looks like it's about 4 or 5 or at least. They're not the black ones with the white face. Those are cows. But anyway, I got a signal here, and it was sounded good, sounded bad, sounded good, sounded bad. So I didn't turn the camera on. But I think it did that because there was 2 separate signals. Listen in the hole here. Look at the meter. I'll give it a second. Okay. I think there's a couple of signals there too, but every once in a while it makes a really good noise, and it sticks up here. See right there? It sticks right there. There's also iron up here that I dug. Hear it gnawing out, so there's something there, but there's something in this hole for sure. I think there might be 2 targets, but I wanted to share the excitement with ya. I'll dump that out of there. I'll take another scoop here, and if I don't have it in this shovel, I'm going to have to turn the camera off and go from there. I hope it's not a coin. Probably just ruined it. Alright, let's see where it's at. See, that's something different there, isn't it? Look at that. See how it's just sticking right up there? It's above that center line. There's something there too. That's way down there. I suspect that's going to be iron. So there were 2 signals in that hole. I'll get the pinpointer. I can see it already, I think. It's a piece of wire. Now this pinpointer is not very loud. Okay, this is the Minelab. And it's not very loud, but it's not loud because I put some goop in the speaker hole right there. They're telling me that as long as you put goop in that little hole right there, that you can use this in the water. I have not used this in the water, so I don't recommend you do that yet. But that's what they said anyway, so I'm going to give it a shot when I... Well, we could go down to the stream right now, but we're not going to because I don't have a lot of time. But we're going to test it in the water later. Later this, well, probably in a couple of weeks when I go on a trip. See, it's not very loud, but it's actually a pretty decent machine. Yeah, see, is that piece of something right there? See it? Ooh, is that an eagle breastplate? Piece of wire. I think this is going to be a piece of copper wire right here. Yep, sure enough. Well, that was giving us a good signal. And there's something else in the hole. I think it's iron. We're going to set this right here because I want to listen to that again, because that is the first thing I've dug on the land that wasn't iron. We have to learn what it sounds like and how the machine reacts to it. Okay, look at that. See? Alright, so we know that what that copper wire is going to sound like. There's something else over here. High squeak, which normally is good, but I think that's going to be iron. Let's go ahead and dig. Oh, cow pie! Oh no! I put my knee in the cow pie. That's going to go over well at the birthday party, but they're kind of like the farmer folks, so they'll understand. Things happen, alright? Alright, now let's see what we have here. Still in the hole. Let's see, this really is still sticking down there. It's probably right in the edge here somewhere. I didn't do a great job of pinpointing that. Let's just go ahead and take it. Normally I try to not dig quite as big a hole, but since I have like super good permission here, and I'm going to fill in it anyway, we're good. Okay. Yeah, see, it's in there. Bouncing around a little bit. Yep, that's it. Okay, we'll knock that apart. You see, it's still down in that lower right, so I suspect it's iron. In fact, I can see it. Look, it's iron. No doubt. That is a nail. A bent nail. That might be why it was giving a little bit of that squeaky sound. It's also been burned. You can see how black it is right there. Iron kind of gets that color when it's burned. It's round, so we know it's post 1880 or so. So it's a newer nail. All right, but we heard the wire too. I'm going to pick it up, put it in the bag, and I'll fix this up nice and pretty. And we'll move on. What do you say? So I've moved a little further down the hill because I wanted to show you the spring behind me. This is why there's so many houses in this area. You can see there's another one. That's actually across the road. and that's pre-Civil War. That was used as a hospital during the Civil War. But I have a good signal right here. Yeah, keep in mind, this detector I'm using today is wide open, okay? I have the sensitivity really high, and I have it so I can hear all the targets, because I like to be able to hear the iron too. And I'm learning how to figure out exactly what the iron is, and that's called the learning process. But we have a good signal here. There we go. That's the one that I originally heard I want to dig. See, that's sticking up pretty high there. So I think there's something right here that is not iron. Could be a shotgun shell, who knows. I found a lot of them out here. Let's start with this one. Yeah, see, that's sticking up there above that iron range. Let's go ahead and dig this. And then we'll move up by that log and dig that other thing. I found some pretty old coins down here. Like I said, I found a few bullets. There's a lot of junk though. See, that's junk. That is some type of foil right there. Aluminum. But at least we knew it wasn't iron. So that's a good first step to learning the machine. And you say it's just aluminum, but that could have been a small gold coin or a small military button. So you have to dig that kind of stuff if you're going to dig relics. If you just want to dig coins, set it on silver and go for it. That's all you'll dig is silver, and you won't dig much else. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tamp this back down, and we'll run over the hole one more time. Oops, that was a rock. And just to make sure this was it. Yeah, that was a signal. But see, there's more stuff in here. Alright, so I'm going to mess around here just a little bit more. We're going to go down, take a quick peek at the spring, see if we can see anything in the water down there that's really cool, and work our way back to the house, and that's it for the day. I think my wife will be here at any minute, and I'm already covered with cow poop. Let's just pop down here and take a quick peek at the spring, and we're going to hunt just a little bit above it there. I wanted to see what the water looks like today. Got some pretty decent flow. We got a bunch of rain recently. I don't think we'll see a whole lot out here, but you never know. The giant snapping turtles in this little stream, but they're probably hibernating now. You look, you can see the water's nice and clear. I can see little pieces of pottery in there. See some redware. There's some blue stuff down there. It might be worth looking around in sometime if you want to come back. Nothing too weird going on out there. No dead deer. Alright, there's the spring house. Let's go take a quick peek at that. And we're going to hunt right above it a little bit with a metal detector. Well, this is where the old bottle dump is too. I have a couple bottle videos where I'm digging down here. And I probably should come back and dig some more. Because I really haven't dug much here. So there should be a lot more stuff left. Again, this is the spring house. This is where they would keep milk cool. Farmers would, when after they milk a cow, they'd put it in a bucket and bring it down here. Set it in this little house. The spring water runs right through the middle of it. Yeah, pretty cool. Excellent. Alright, this is where we dug the bottles before, right in here. This area right where we're walking, you can see it's all been filled back in nicely. There's no holes, which is nice. We might come back here. Dig some more up in this area. There was a lot of roots last time. And that caused us a lot of problems, but I think it'd be worth trying again. I'm just going to take a shovel just for the heck of it. Just poke around for a couple minutes. If I see anything neat, I'll turn the camera on. But if not, we'll just go right up on the hill here. There's my in-law's house, and that's the neighbor's. And I think it was probably a little cabin right here back in the 1700s. Oh, that was weird. Something ran around behind me. I heard something run through the leaves behind me. I don't know if that was a squirrel or what, but freaked me out a little bit. Okay, let's just check here for bottles real quick. Just digging a couple little test holes down below where we found the bottles before, but I'm really just getting a lot of barbed wire. This is old barbed wire. It's probably been here for 100 years. Well, at least 50, I'd imagine. I don't see any pieces of broken bottle in there, so we're going to move on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go up, just up here on this little hill right by the spring, where there's another house. But we haven't found a whole lot, but it's not surprising. Again, I've been hunting here for at least 20 years. A lot. Alright. Yeah, this machine's over there. The cows haven't stepped on it yet. That's always a good thing. Well, we've come full circle from the hill down the dale and by the spring and back up to the house. And I have my best signal of the day, probably not 20 feet from where we were first standing. That could very well be junk, but it's not iron. What do you think? Is that it? Yeah, there it is. And let me move my shovel again. Jeez. Always put it too close. Next time we come over, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go over in the yard, because I know there's like a lot of wheat pennies and stuff over in there. Some parts of the yard have so much junk that it's impossible to dig because there are chicken houses and stuff around here. But I know there's some wheat pennies over there for sure, so let's dig this thing up. Yeah, see, it's way up there. I have no idea what it is. I just stabbed myself with a pinpointer. Pretty close to the septic tank though, so I'm a little bit worried about that. This has definitely been dug up not too awful long ago. Alrighty, I don't see any gold coins. Any gold coins? I see some old pottery though. You see some old pottery in there? A lot of that heavy clay right here too. Alright, let's see if we got it out. No idea. It might just be a big piece of iron. I need to read up a little bit more on this machine, don't I? We'll do that tonight. Because you know what? I am discovering that I really miss the dirt. Yeah, it's a big piece of iron. Kind of suspected that for some reason. Alright, let's just make sure that's all it was. Yep, that's all it is. Big. Well, yeah, more stuff under the ground. Okay, so that's a piece of iron. Let's see. Don't know what it's from. It could be, has a square hole in it. Yeah, it could be old. It could be 100 years, but I don't know for sure. We'll just look right up around here. Spend another 5 minutes here. My wife is still not here, so I think something's up probably. She should have been here an hour ago, so I got to stop in the house and see if they can tell me anything. But we're going to come back and get our hands dirty. I forgot how much I miss the dirt. I love water hunting, but I really like getting my hands dirty too. Alright, I'm going to dig right over there just a little bit longer. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it sounds like little kids like screaming and stuff in the background. But it's actually geese flying south for the winter. They're probably a mile high though. You can't even see them, they're so high. Oh well, you can't hear that, there's no way. Well, apparently there's been a change of plans and we're going out to dinner this evening, so I have to scoot and go home and change my clothes that are covered with cow poo. It's really not too bad, but let me show you what we found today. We didn't find anything of really cool interest, but at least we did figure out a little bit about the machine. Got some flat pieces of iron here, and this is round pieces. I don't think any of this is too old. I can't tell about that one. This is a piece of zinc or pot metal. You can see how it's kind of corroding. It's got that weird look and it's bubbly and stuff. I think pretty much only zinc does that. And this would post-date the Civil War. And this could be anywhere from the late 1800s to 1920s or 30s or 40s. Looks almost like a golf club, doesn't it? I don't think that's what it is, but oh yeah, got this. Woohoo! That's a light switch. That's an oldie, but it's not that old, you know. Probably older than me though. And that big chunk of iron that we found. I think this is a piece of like a salt shaker maybe. The end of it, or something, maybe a flour shaker or whatever. But so we didn't find anything really great. Next time, I promise, we'll go over in the yard and we'll dig some wheat pennies for you. Could be some silver in there too, so you never know. I hope you had a good time. I did. I'm really happy to get my hands dirty again, and we're going to do that a bunch now because the water's too cold and it's supposed to get down into the like 30s for the next couple of days during the day. Really cold at night, so as soon as deer season's out, we'll be out in the woods and we're going to find a bunch of bullets. I hope. Let's get out of here. I wanted to show you this. Is kind of neat. Oh, deer out there. This is the park, the Battlefield Park here. I'm on my way home. And when you come here in the evening, about another hour or two from now, you'll be 30 or 40 of them out there at a time. Those are all doe. I don't see any antlers on. There's antlers on the one, about the third one back there. It's a little spike, but yeah, if you come here in the evening, that field is loaded with them. Like I said, I've seen up to 50 at a time in there. They're safe over here because no one can hunt anywhere around here because this is all national park. Pretty cool, huh?